Good evening, fellow Awkward Nuts. It's Friday. So I'm sorry that you are getting this shitty lighting, shitty sounding video, and my phone is going off. But I'm in a bit of a rush. I've just got back from work and I'm going out again in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to leave my computer on while I go out. But I thought I'd just make this video because I thought it was important. It's my theme, so I thought I'd power through and ignore the fact that my mum's currently downstairs and she doesn't know that I do this. So I might be a bit quiet, but it's fine. So thank you for all your stories this week. I've loved listening to them. I've really enjoyed hearing them, and I'm going to tell you my story. So the weird thing is I didn't actually realise this until yesterday that my story sort of all interlinks. If it wasn't for one thing, everything would have just gone like that. Everything would have gone changed completely differently. Basically, I was, as you know, when I was younger, I was about 14 at the time. I was a massive fan of wrestling. You know, absolutely massive. I watched it every week, watched the pay-per-views, everything like that, everything. And when I was about 14, just sort of about mid 2004, we got broadband. Broadband was awesome. You know, it was hip, it was cool, it was now, it was fast, it was internet without having to block the phone line. You know, it was really fun. So I started going on the internet a lot more because we didn't have to pay extra to use it. We didn't have to pay like a penny a minute, which is what we used to do. So we had the internet a lot more. And from that I started visiting wrestling forums. I started, getting to know people, and everything like that. And from that point I started watching, they were music videos basically. People were getting the clips of the wrestling footage and sort of sticking them together to music and making almost like montages and it was so cool at the time because you'd have the music would hit like a drum had hit and the people would hit the floor or people would get punched, and there's a lot on the internet. I'm sure you can find some, but that was really fun. That was really enjoyable for me to watch, and I thought, I was like, that's awesome. I was like, I'd love to be able to do that. So at 14, 15ish, I sort of started to teach myself. I started learning the program, started learning how it was done, and phone's still going off. So I started learning how it was done, and yeah, it was really fun, and that carried on. I started doing that, and I started doing it more and more and more, and I was absolutely loving it. It was so enjoyable. And then from that point, I sort of realised that I maybe wanted to do this for maybe a career or a living. So, I was sort of about 16, we started coming to around exams and stuff, and we had to choose options whether we wanted to carry on and do A levels, if we wanted to go to college and do something else. And bear in mind, we finish school at 16, and then we do college or A levels for 2 years until we're 18, and then we go to university. So I decided to look at college courses, and it was through, I got into two different colleges. There was Stafford College and Lichfield College, which is both near to where I live. And then from that point, stupid screen. So from that point, I got into two colleges, both studying media. I got into both studying media because I told them about my editing background and told them what I like to do, and they really liked that, and they really enjoyed, thought that was a good chance. So yeah, I got accepted onto both courses, but then it was sort of deciding on, I don't keep doing this, it was sort of deciding from that point whether I wanted to go to Stafford or to Lichfield, because they both offered something good. And it was actually my mum who I have to thank my mum for this, because she was the one who was like, well, I think you know what you want to do, but I know what I wanted you to do, but I'm going to let you choose. So I thought about it, and I was like, I think I'm going to go to Lichfield, and my mum was really happy, because that's what she wanted me to go to, and so she almost pushed me in that direction. Not completely, but she sort of knew where she wanted me to go and stuff, so I went there. And then from that point, yes, I started studying media, and I started getting into editing and film directing, and when I was there, it was, my best friend Sarah, who's been in a couple of videos, well, she was there, got to my second year of college, and I was choosing my university. She went, have you looked at university in Falmouth? And I was like, no, I haven't. I was like, I'll check that out. And then we went down on an open day, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I was like, apply, send in the essay and do all the work for it and everything, and as you know, I got accepted, and I'm now on the third year of the course at Falmouth, which is really strange. So that sort of brought me to uni, but there's an interesting fact in here. When I was at college, I remember a girl coming up to me, one of my friends, and she was like, she went, have you seen this guy on YouTube? I went, no, who is he? She went, his name's What the Buck, and she went, go and check him out, and I went and watched some of Michael Buckley's videos, and it was hilarious. I laughed so much. And it was sort of from him that started almost doing the YouTube, I started doing the YouTube thing, because from him I just started YouTubing people, and from him I found Natalie Tran and Shay Carl and Philip Franco, and from there I started finding out about, I started looking at English YouTubers, and then I got into Charlie So Cool, and Naramon, and from them I got into the Vlog Brothers. Obviously the Vlog Brothers brought me to the Ning. From the Ning is where I found you lovely people. So yeah, that was really weird. So, and then it wasn't until uni that I actually started vlogging, and I did a couple of collab channels then, and nothing really stuck. And then, yeah, and then I stuck out uni and decided to, I bought Alan Nastufka's book on the YouTube guide thing, read that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get into this sort of vlogging thing. And then, again, I joined the Ning, and I met you guys, and yeah, so it's funny how just one thing, broadband, how one thing has sort of led me down this entire massive sort of path that is my life. So yeah, that's my story. I hope you've enjoyed listening to it. I'm sorry I've rambled a bit, but I wanted to sort of tell you how everything sort of linked. Like, if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't have gotten, if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't have got onto wrestling forums. If it wasn't for wrestling forums, I wouldn't have got into editing. If it wasn't for editing, I wouldn't have got to college. If it wasn't for college, I wouldn't have found out about Falmouth, and also I wouldn't have found out about YouTube. And yeah, so everything spreads from sort of there on. So yeah, it's a long story, but I hope you've enjoyed listening to it, and I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a good weekend. Thank you for answering my question. I don't know whose theme it is next week. It's either Lauren's or Alex's. It depends whoever Monday. I think it's Lauren's. Yeah, we'll keep the order. Lauren, it's your theme next week. So I hope you've all had a marvellous weekend. I'm going to go because we're going to go and see Scream 4 in the cinema tonight. Hopefully that'll be good. I hope you've all had good weeks, and I hope you'll have a great weekend. Oh, I'll be back in Falmouth next time you see me, so say goodbye to the location. Yeah, I think Alex said see you on Wednesday. I don't know if he meant that. So either Lauren or Alex, I will see you on Monday. Fellow Orgonauts, I will see you next Friday. DFTBA.